I'm here with Eric and Edwin of Metalite to talk about their upcoming new record, Expedition 1, out January 19th on AFM Records. First of all, thank you very much for you guys taking the time today to chat with me about the band, to chat with me about the record. And before we get deep into the record, let me just ask you this question for those that are watching this interview that maybe are not super familiar with the band. How would you describe the overall essence of Metalite, sound-wise, but overall essence of Metalite?
I would describe it as a modern metal band that really likes to stretch the different genres and blend it in a mix that no one has heard before.
When it comes to this record, you guys definitely use that blend extremely well, and I think it works really well when it comes to the concept of the album. But let's talk a little bit about the concept before we even get into the sound. Expedition 1, where the idea for this record, where the idea for the concept started to brew, where it took the first steps?
Actually, the idea of this concept album started when Virtual World was released, because everyone thought that was a concept album, and it wasn't. So I really want to do it in a concept way this time. So from the beginning. So that's where the idea started.
Will there be an Expedition 2?
Of course there will be an Expedition 2, but the name of the album would not be Expedition 2.
Is it
then Expedition 3, Expedition 4?
Exactly. There has to be at least 3, because everything that's really good comes in a trilogy. So you guys you guys got to do at least 3. You got to do at least 3. Considering that you have a concept and you have a story that you have to tell, how much does that impact not just the sound, but also when it comes to the vocals and how you tell that story? What kind of impact do you see different from creating a concept record versus a non-concept record?
For me, it's no different. I think me and Erica in the studio, me and Erica, when we record the stuff in the vocals in the studio, we do as we used to. So there's no difference between a concept album and an ordinary album. I think.
Does anything change in the songwriting process as well, or is it pretty much the same for you?
I want to put up a story for the song first of all, but the musically isn't any difference. But of course, I think about the lyrics when I write it, and I have to have a story for the song in the beginning, in the process, and then we can work it out together.
But that is
me and Erica.
Yeah, and that is something that you always have. Like when you write the lyrics, I think the way that Edwin is doing the lyrics is very easy to come up with like a concept, because you always have a story in the songs. So, but the work was not any different from the other albums, I think.
Oh.
Even when it came to the lyrics, because one thing is to create a story for an individual song. The other thing is to create a story that's going to arch over an entire record. Does that maybe make the lyrical process out of everything the most complex one, or you didn't find it that way?
No, I didn't find it complex at all, because the theme of the earlier albums that we did is the same. It's sci-fi and it is technology and stuff like that. And now we could use the older albums to get in this story too, and blend that story together with the older albums. And I didn't think it was complex to write the lyrics, because I had the story already. So and the theme is the same. So.
This is an ongoing process for Edwin.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was a lot easier than what it sounds to me, because when I'm listening to the record, it feels like the record is a lot more complex. But the way you're explaining it, it seemed like it was an easy process for you, but it came across very textured and very complex, which is really interesting. That's something that starts from such a simple thought process, develops into something that comes across a little bit more complicated than that.
Yeah, and it's really nice that you say so, because you know, I don't think that way when I'm writing the songs. If this is going to be a complex one, or the arrangement is going to be a complex song or stuff like that. I just want to make hits, you know. And
yeah, I'm listening to it and I'm like, how the hell did they put all of this together? I mean, there's like keyboards, there's the guitars, there's the drums, there's the vocals, there's the story. I mean, there's so many things, so many moving pieces. I'm like, how do you build this Lego? Like that was what I was going through my mind. Here I am thinking you took like, 1 year with each song, putting it all together because of the complexity of the tracks, and turns out, you're just doing this like you're brushing your teeth in the morning.
yeah, so if you listen to the first album, which is I don't, it has been a real change in the production. If you listen to the first album or the fourth album right now, but the Metalite elements are still there in the first album, you know. So the process has been the same. But this time you have a story to take care of too. Yeah.
Now, this record has been, it is the longest album that you guys have ever released. Did the concept of the record push the length of the record, or regardless of the concept, the record was going to be this long anyways?
The album is 16 songs, and we got 2 bonus tracks that we released between the albums. The label wanted us to have those songs on this album too, because they're good songs. But the original idea was 14 songs with the instrumental one, Utopia. And yeah, of course, you want to build a huge album, you know, with this cinematic trailer and the story. And of course, we need a lot of songs, and we don't want like an intro, outro, some in the middle stuff that like 1 minute stuff that other bands have. We need like 14 songs that are hits, real songs. And that's a huge album, and we're really proud of putting that together. Yeah.
Erica, when it comes to your vocal performance, do you come into an album thinking about things that you want to achieve, things that you want to do, maybe things that you want to improve from previous records? What is your thought process when you walk into a new record?
Yeah, of course you want to get better, right? And I can also hear that from my first album with Metalite, the Biomechanicals, that my voice has changed over the albums. I think my range has been better. And like Edwin, I want to proceed the process. I want every song to be better than the last one. So I want the energy, I want the power, I want people to feel something when they listen to it. And I try always to put my feelings into the song. And I also want to believe what I'm singing about.
Is that connection an easy one when it comes to feeling what you're singing about? Because Edwin is writing the lyrics here, and you have to find a way of attaching yourself emotionally, not just to the lyrics, but to the story. Is that a process that takes some time for you?
Yeah, sometimes it does. But we also have a lot of conversations around the lyrics and the story in this particular song, so I can like process that in in myself. And often Edwin is also like writing in metaphors, you know, so I can put that into my life sometimes, you know, like I build up my own story for me to get out the feelings and emotions that I have around the song.
As a vocalist, what are your biggest strengths that you feel a band like Metalite really allows them to shine, to flourish?
Oh my God, that's a tricky question. But I love being on stage. I always have loved being on stage. I love perform for the audience, and I think my energy is one of my strongest things about me as an artist, and I also am very proud of who I have become as a singer, and that's very much thanks to Metalite, like the working process that I've been going through during the 3 albums that we have done now, for me at least. So well, yeah, maybe that. maybe the energy and the way that I tell the story. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you have to answer that question.
No, I honestly, I really love the way you told the stories on this record. I thought you had a very captivating delivery, because it's not just about singing the song. You also, because it's a
No.
concept, you also have to tell the story in a way that keeps the listener engaged with the whole process and
Yeah.
from track to track. And I thought you did a wonderful job. You had a very warm delivery, and you not just sing the song, but you told the story. And I think you were able to bring those two aspects to the table, being a singer and being a storyteller. Not always an easy thing to do.
Thank you so much.
And I have to ask Edwin this, because having a vocalist like you changes sometimes the way you approach songwriting, because you definitely, in my humble opinion, I think you give Edwin a lot of tools and give him a lot of freedom in order to be able to be creative, knowing that you're going to be able to deliver. Does Erica make your job easier?
Yeah, of course. As long as
Yes.
I write songs, yes. As long as I write the songs in her range, vocal range, there's endless possibilities to write a song with Erica. You know, we can discuss this in the studio when we record, and we want to try new things and stuff, like higher here and lower here, and these harmonies here, and this kind of choir here. You know, there's endless possibilities working with Erica.
One of the things that I thought was really interesting is that the sci-fi themes work really well when you have a lot of synthesizer sound on the tracks, because for me personally, the two kind of go together as one. When I think of sci-fi, I think of synths, I think of keyboards, that kind of sound. Do the two things work really well for you? Do you see that symbiosis between that more electronic side of the band and then the sci-fi themes of the songs?
Yeah, that's why we call ourselves like modern metal. You know, we always use these kind of keyboards that not the classic metal don't have. You know, yeah, it's perfect for the theme sci-fi and technology, and yeah, I think that's our strength, Metalite. You know, we have this theme, we have this production, you know, with keyboards and stuff like that. And of course, the metal and heavy riffs and fast drums, fast solos, and yeah, I think it's a perfect match, actually.
Because there's a lot of bands, and I'm not going to say any names, but there's a lot of bands that use those synths, they use those keyboards, but then they're talking about I don't know, they're talking about painting a house or something like that, and I just feel like the themes don't necessarily match the sound. And one of the reasons I really enjoyed the record was because I felt like the sound and the themes kind of went intertwined as one. So you're not just listening to a record, you almost can picture a theatrical play happen in front of you, and then this is the soundtrack of that play. I thought you guys married those two aspects extremely well, from beginning to end, bringing the concept to life with those synthesizer sounds and not losing anything with the guitars. Is it hard to still make sure the guitars have a focus and have a place in the sound?
I I really prefer to have this kind of perfect mix and blend, you know, between the keyboards and the guitar, and that's the the work that Jacob helping us with, Jacob Hansen, he's doing a really perfect job. He's the perfect mixing guy for this kind of music, because he never like pushed the metal guitars too high, and never pushes the keyboards too high. It's just a perfect match mix all the time, and he's the key behind Metalite to get this kind of sound.
He's a mad genius.
Yeah, I think he understands. Sorry.
No, go ahead. No, I was just saying, I think he's a genius.
No, yeah, I think he has, during the years working with us, understand our sound, and I think he has just, he's a genius. He's the best.
do you guys get into each other's roles? Like, Erica, do you give some tips on, like, maybe the guitar sound here, maybe the keyboards here could have been a little bit different? And Edwin, do you tell Erica, oh, here the vocals, you could have done this? Or you guys are like, I know what I'm doing. You do you, I do me.
Edwin is pushing me all the time. No, I actually don't go in and like want to change I trust Edwin and the other guys with the instrumental, and I trust Edwin 100% about that. When it comes to the vocals, I think me and Edwin has a great teamwork when it comes to how we build the harmonies and the ad libs and everything like that. So that's, Edwin comes in with a lot of inputs for me in the vocals. Yeah,
but we also have a really good job together in the studio and creating those stuff that's from the beginning not what do you call it, like planned. There's a lot of stuff that's not, we haven't planned, that goes into the record, into the recording, and that's the fun part, because you never know how the song's gonna be when you go out from the studio. We have an idea, and we have the harmonies, we have the lyrics, but sometimes the song just take a different path, and that's because of me and Erica working together in the studio when we do the recording.
How is the band environment? Because when I listened to the album, I could almost feel like you guys had a great time in the studio, because there's something about listening to this album that makes me feel like you guys have such a great chemistry with one another. There's more than a band, feels like there's a friendship, and I think that comes across in the sound, where it feels very natural. It feels like everything is coming from a very organic place. So how are you guys as a band? Are you guys like a band of brothers, if you will?
I think that is one of the most important thing for us five as a band, that we actually are friends. We are respectful to one another. We have very, very much fun on the stage, but also off the stage when we are out on our gigs and playing. So I think that's the key behind everything, that we are like a group of people that really enjoy each other.
Yeah.
For you,
I can totally agree on that one.
Or do you have anything else to say, Edwin?
No, I totally agree.
He's pleading the fifth. He's just following whatever it is that you're saying, which is a great move, if you ask me. But listening to you guys as a band, and listen to this record, previous records, that sci-fi theme, where does that love for sci-fi come? Do you guys have a favorite sci-fi movie?
Edwin has to answer that question.
Yeah. Actually, the sci-fi stuff, it's just coming from films. It's like gaming and stuff like that. I'm really into gaming also. But of course, Virtual World was written when Steven Spielberg released Ready Player One movie, and it's a big influence for that album, and also a big influence for me writing Expedition 1 in a continuous story from the Virtual World album.
Wow. One last question for you guys. The album comes out early in 2024, which means there's a lot of room for the rest of 2024 for you guys to hit the road and play some shows. What plans do you guys have for the year of this release?
First of all, we have some shows in Sweden in February, I think.
Yeah.
So will be the start of, and then we go on this tour with Leaves Eyes for 2 weeks, I think, and then we will be on the 2 last shows of that, because they are on the road for longer than 2 weeks. But we are on for the 2 first weeks, and then we jump on the last shows on that tour. And after that, we can't tell. Yes.
but it's going to be a busy year. I'm assuming it's going to be a busy year. Is that correct?
We hope so. We hope so. We really do.
Yeah.
Because we love being out and meet our fans, and especially when you just released an album, of course you want to go out and play, right? So we hope so.
Is it fun to take the production that you guys have from the studio on the road and playing those shows, being in front of the fans?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, it's the best thing to have the music go to real life, you know.
Yeah,
it's playing it live.
I get a feeling that for Erica, the whole making of a record is just an excuse to go on the road. It's like, if I could skip the record part and just go on the road, I would totally do that.
Can someone else do it?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, can we skip the whole record thing and just go on the road all the time? I kind of get a feeling like she loves being on the road. She loves performing in front of fans, and the album is just a means to an end.
Yeah, I mean, I love being in the studio, and as I said, me and Edwin has like working on this, like, we are a great team. We're working so incredibly awesome together. So I love that part as well. So don't misunderstand me. I love that, and I love to see how the songs comes alive, and when the finished product is there, you know. And I'm so excited about the release and see what everyone thinks of it. But the most thing, and what I think I'm born to do, is be on stage. I love that. I love meeting the fans. I love seeing them sing the songs. I got chills when I talk about it now. It's an amazing experience, and I would like for us to do that a little bit more than last year.
Well, I'm gonna hope that 2024 brings you great stuff. For sure, it's gonna bring a new record, that we all know. But I hope it brings a lot of other great stuff, and I hope it brings a lot of shows. So, Erica, you can sing your heart out. You can sing all the time. I honestly wish you guys nothing but the best for 2024. Success with the album, and a lot of touring, a lot of gigs, a lot of shows. Thank you very much for your time today. It was an absolute pleasure speaking to you guys about this record.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for your
much.
time.
Thank you.